In 2008, a group of 4 women came together to create a playground by the beach for kids to have fun.
We thought it would be great to have a playground at the beach. We live in a community that's on the water, and it would be really fun to be able to appreciate that.
There was a playground here originally, but it was in the backwoods and there were mosquitoes. It was very, very unappealing and no one wanted to go there. Building and designing and fundraising the playground definitely took a good amount of time.
We had to fund it. It was $250,000. We had an estimate given to us. We had to fundraise for that amount of money, and we started out with different ways of doing that.
One of my good friends did PR, one did the graphic design. I ended up being in charge of selling all of the bricks. We had someone doing the playground design, and we were all moms who were mothers of preschoolers who had just left the workforce.
We approached a lot of different big companies, and they said they couldn't fund us. We weren't really reaching the amount that we needed to reach. We decided to go ahead and ask the Darien Foundation for a large donation to kind of kickstart the campaign.
The Darien Foundation wanted us to expand the project a little bit because they felt like the playground was really only for the 2 to 6-year-olds. Once the Darien Foundation agreed to pledge money, the town agreed that we could put swings in.
When other people heard that we had gotten money from the Darien Foundation, they were able to say, well, this is going to happen. This idea is actually going to come to fruition. So a lot of people then came on as funders. Local businesses came, more families decided to buy bricks because they knew that this playground was really going to happen. It wasn't just some pipe dream of 19 moms.
Well, one of the great aspects of the playground as we designed it was that we had it open to the beach because the kids love running back and forth to the water and then back to the playground.
One of my favorite parts of the playground is that it's in the shape of the nautical theme with the ship and the lighthouse, given that it's on the beach.
It's because of the playground that the parents come and really take the time and enjoy, have their coffee, and watch their kids grow up and have fun.
Playground by the Sound has been an important part of the community for 10 years. During our 3rd annual Weed Beach Fest this June, we made the playground kind of a center point of the actual event. In honor of the 10th birthday of the Playground by the Sound, the Darien Foundation hosted our Kids Cove, and for the first time we were able to offer it open and free to the public for over 400 kids to enjoy, and we are so thankful for the Darien Foundation.
The Playground by the Sound grant had a big impact on the Darien Foundation in 2 ways. Number one, it was one of our first big capital grants, and we were really excited to partner with the 4 moms that brought the project to us here at Weed Beach. The second thing is it got people to feel in town that they could come to us and make presentations and bring their good ideas, and we would be receptive and open to hear those ideas. And it's created a great dialogue between the Darien community and the Darien Foundation.
People need to know that they can do something like this on their own, and with partnering with the Darien Foundation to actually do the funding made it happen.
This is David Genovese, founder of Corbin Cares. Corbin Cares Phase 2, in partnership with the Darien Foundation, was launched to support the people who support Darien. Corbin Cares partnered with the Darien Foundation to thank essential workers, teachers, police officers, firefighters, EMTs, town employees, and postal workers who stepped up during the pandemic. Family meals for 4 were provided by 4 Forks, Bodega, Michael Joseph's, 1020 Post, and Parlor Pizza and Wine. Post 53 was treated to a tacos and waffles night with Bodega and the Waffle Cabin. Thanks to countless donors, 910 family dinners for 4 and 110 posties were served. And the Corbin Cares office was flooded with notes, emails, and letters of gratitude. Thanks to the essential workers and generous donors, you are all what make this community great.
I think the Darien Foundation is a central organization in town, showing that the community cares and the community is willing to give and the community is willing to support the kind of work that we're doing here and in other organizations in town.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
The Darien Foundation was critical to the success of the Elizabeth W. Chilton Education Center. The new barn will allow us to have bigger groups and educate more school children about the legacy of the Mather homestead.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Good evening. It's not good yet. Will be. Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the concert. Sorry, it's been a while. So it's so great to be here, finally introducing a middle school band concert. My name is Colleen Thompson. I'm the director of music for the district. I started here at the beginning of last year, so there were no live concerts to introduce. Really excited that we're all here together to hear some live music, to get into the spirit of the season a bit. Just really excited also to not be seeing children in boxes on a screen, but live here playing their instruments. And I'm sure you're still hearing lots of practicing at home, but not as much video recording and from small rooms in your house. So congratulations to the students for persevering for the last few years, and to Mr. Curley and Mr. Carter for keeping the band program going strong. It's impossible to replicate an ensemble experience without having an ensemble experience. So it's just so great to see the camaraderie back in our schools and having students making music live again. Thank you to all of the Middlesex music teachers who are here tonight. I'm just amazed by how supportive this group of colleagues is to each other, and to all of the teachers and administrators here. Thank you to Jeff DeMeo for running sound, and to DAF for live streaming our concert. If you have friends, neighbors, family members who couldn't attend, they can find the link to this concert on the Darien Public Schools Music website. And if you'd like to watch it again when you get home, that link will remain there for you to watch over and over again. Tomorrow night's our DHS band concert. If you'd like to bring the kids back and see what things will sound like in a few years from your wonderful players. And we're also excited that this year is the band festival in April, and we're really excited to bring in Dallas Brass, a world-famous performing ensemble, to play with our students, and it should be a great community event here at the end of April. Without further ado, I will turn over the program to Mr. Curley and the jazz band.
Hey everybody. Normally I'd just start the music right away, but kind of like a Broadway show, if something changes, they announce what the change is going to be at the beginning of the show. And unfortunately, one of our drummers had to call in sick today, and the show must go on. And instead of making Nina learn the part in one day, which would have been impossible, I'm going to play drums for this one, and she's going to play drum set for the next one. So we're going to play a tune called Not All But Most. Kind of sounds like the tune All of Me, the old jazz standard, but it's not all but most. Hope you enjoy. All right, thank you. I got my cheat sheet here. That song featured Dylan, Henry, Jack, Luli, Kellen, and Dara. Let's give them another round of applause. So, this next tune is a Herbie Hancock tune called Chameleon, and we're going to open up the middle section, and we're just going to vamp and groove and have a couple people solo here. We're going to have Akil, Jacob, Josh, Julian, Lily, and then all three of our guitarists. Normally there's only one guitarist in a jazz band, but it was so hard I decided to have a whole guitar army here. So we're going to feature all three of them here in this tune, and then Dara's going to solo again in this one. So I hope you enjoy Chameleon. And then after we play this one, there'll be a open up the curtain and then 6th grade. So thank you. Here's Chameleon.
Thank you so much. I have my theatrical mask on here. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting our program. Your kids have been an absolute pleasure to work with this year, in spite of some of the obstacles. And I hear Mr. Curley off stage here getting ready. He's going to join us. And Mr. Connect, one of our other music teachers in our department, he also was a band teacher at one time, and he's joining us tonight on the tuba. So thank you, Mr. Connect. And without further ado, we'll get started with our program here.
We would like to give a special thanks to our teachers from Middlesex who are helping out behind the scenes tonight. They are Mr. Sesmer, Mr. Sylvie, Miss Nichols, and Mr. Blake. We would also like to thank our music staff, Mrs. Parnoff, Mrs. Sadler, and Miss Brown, who are also helping out behind the scenes. A special thanks also goes to Mr. Jeff DeMeo and his staff for providing the sound and lighting this evening, as well as Mr. Andrews and the Darien Athletic Foundation for providing the outstanding live streaming for our concert tonight.
Louie Louie is a rhythm and blues song written and composed by American musician Richard Berry in 1955. It is best known for the 1963 hit version by the Kingsmen and has become a standard in pop and rock. The song is based on the tune El Logo Cha-Cha, popularized by band leader Rene Tizet, and is an example of Afro-Cuban influence on American popular music.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. That was called Castles and Dragons. I think it lived up to the name. All right. While we tune the timpani and the percussion get ready to play their next tune, just want to thank everybody for coming. This next tune is called After Midnight and Still, and there's a little story behind it. It was written by a composer who's also a band director, and he was in Chicago at a band director conference. I know, the most nerdy thing you can go to. And he left the conference, and it was snowing like crazy. And he went on Facebook on his phone, and he noticed one of his band director friends had posted a video of it with the caption, After Midnight and Still. And she was stuck at the airport, couldn't get on her flight. So that's why this is called After Midnight and Still. It's supposed to represent falling snow. Hope you like it. All right, this next tune, again, while we get set up, percussionists. This next tune everybody knows. It's called Happy. And the funny thing about this song, when I handed out the music, I swear I heard one of them go, "This song's so old. Why are we playing this song? It's so old." And that's when I knew I was starting to get old too, because this song is only like, what, 10 years old? You guys ready? All right, let's do it. After this, we'll have another short 5-minute intermission and then 8th grade.
Darien Foundation is a central organization in town showing that the community cares and the community is willing to give and the community is willing to support the kind of work that we're doing here and in other organizations in town.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
The Darien Foundation was critical to the success of the Elizabeth W. Chilton Education Center. The new barn will allow us to have bigger groups and educate more school children about the legacy of the Mather homestead.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
This is David Genovese, founder of Corbin Cares. Corbin Cares Phase 2, in partnership with the Darien Foundation, was launched to support the people who support Darien. Corbin Cares partnered with the Darien Foundation to thank essential workers, teachers, police officers, firefighters, EMTs, town employees, and postal workers who stepped up during the pandemic. Family meals for 4 were provided by 4 Forks, Bodega, Michael Joseph's, 1020 Post, and Parlor Pizza and Wine. Post 53 was treated to a tacos and waffles night with Bodega and the Waffle Cabin. Thanks to countless donors, 910 family dinners for 4 and 110 posties were served. And the Corbin Cares office was flooded with notes, emails, and letters of gratitude. Thanks to the essential workers and generous donors, you are all what make this community great.
Alrighty, well, that piece is a workout. This next one, that last piece we called Hudson River Run. And the interesting part about that is it was written rather recently. It was written during the pandemic, so probably less than 20 bands in the country have performed that piece. So we're one of the first ones. We got right on it, so pretty exciting. The next piece, if you're wondering what that noise is, we're tuning the timpani between songs. The next song is a winter theme. It's called Safe from the Cold. It's a fun song, I guess, right? It's a nice little twinkly song. It did not have sleigh bells in it originally, but I wanted to get even more festive, so we added sleigh bells. So listen for the added sleigh bell part. I don't have any more things to say, so you get the pressure's on. I got some jokes, I guess. 2 bass drums and a cymbal fell off a cliff. Ba-dum-ts. Thanks for the pity laugh. All right, thank you. Alrighty, we got one more tune to finish it out. And it's a doozy, it's an exciting one. I just want to thank a couple people. I want to thank our music supervisor, Colleen Thompson. She's been super supportive this year, getting us to be on the stage here. It's been awesome. I want to thank our principal, Mrs. Rodriguez. She's been super supportive of the arts too, and all the teachers here helping. Couldn't do it without everybody here. And I also want to thank you, the parents. You have to listen to squeaky instruments and loud drums and all this other stuff in preparation for this. But it turns into this, and they sound great, don't they? All right, so this last tune is called Rights of Tamburo. And I don't have much to say about it other than it's super exciting. So hope you enjoyed the show. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming out.
I think the Darien Foundation is a central organization in town showing that the community cares and the community is willing to give and the community is willing to support the kind of work that we're doing here and in other organizations in town.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
The Darien Foundation was critical to the success of the Elizabeth W. Chilton Education Center. The new barn will allow us to have bigger groups and educate more school children about the legacy of the Mather homestead.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather homestead because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.